To understand Viking sacrificial practices, we must first explore their cosmology. The Norse universe was divided into 9 worlds, linked by the world tree Yggdrasil. The gods lived in Asgard, while humans resided in Midgard, with other realms like Jotunheim and Alfheim. The Norse pantheon was complex, with gods overseeing various life aspects. Odin was the chief god, associated with wisdom, war, and death. Thor was the god of thunder and protection, while Freyja was known for love, fertility, and battle. Each deity's domain influenced the sacrifices offered. Blót was the term for sacrificial rituals, central to Norse religious life. These ceremonies occurred regularly through the year and on special occasions, deeply embedding sacrifice in the Viking culture. Major blóts were aligned with the agricultural calendar. The midwinter blót celebrated the winter solstice, while the spring blót sought victory and success. Midsummer and autumn blóts marked harvest periods involving animal and occasional human sacrifices. In times of crisis, human sacrifices were made to appease the gods. The Ynglinga saga tells of King Domaldi's sacrifice after oxen, and men failed to end a famine, highlighting the lengths Vikings would go. Some scholars suggest ritual regicide occurred in Norse societies, supported by archaeological evidence and medieval accounts. This practice might reflect a tradition of sacrificing kings for prosperity. Human sacrifices sometimes accompanied high-status funerals. Ibn Fadlan's account of a Rus Viking funeral describes a slave girl sacrificed to join her deceased master, illustrating ritualistic death. Sacrifices for victory involved offerings to Odin, ensuring success or giving thanks post-battle. Thietmar of Oseberg describes 99 men sacrificed at leisure, reflecting the scale of such rituals. Religious festivals could include human sacrifices. Adam of Bremen recounted sacrifices at Uppsala's temple, where humans were offered every 9 years alongside animals. Hanging was associated with Odin, reflecting his mythic self-sacrifice. Some bog bodies show evidence of hanging, offering a glimpse into Viking sacrificial methods. Stabbing or bleeding involved collecting the victim's blood in sacred vessels, a ritual highlighted in the Eyrbyggja saga, where blood was used to anoint statues and participants. Drowning as a sacrificial method saw victims submerged in bodies of water. Bog bodies in Denmark show signs of such practices, offering archaeological insight into Viking rituals. Strangulation akin to hanging left victims without suspension. Bog bodies show strangulation signs, aligning with sacrificial customs in Scandinavian history. Beheading was sometimes employed in Viking sacrifices, with some burial sites revealing separated skulls, suggesting ritualistic decapitation. Blows to the head were another method, with several bog bodies showing fatal head trauma, hinting at sacrificial customs. Tollundman, though pre-Viking, offers insight into bog sacrifices. Found in Denmark, his well-preserved body and hanging death shed light on ancient rituals. Lindoman, discovered in England, exemplifies complex sacrificial practices. Multiple injuries suggest a ritualistic triple death, reflecting devotion to multiple gods. The Oseberg ship burial in Norway presents indirect evidence of human sacrifice. 2 women, one possibly a sacrificed servant, were buried with extensive grave goods. The Trelleborg mass grave in Denmark contains about 157 individuals, with many showing violent deaths, sparking debate on whether this signifies sacrifice or conflict casualties. Ibn Fadlan's account of a Rus Viking funeral provides a vivid depiction of human sacrifice, emphasizing ritual acts, intoxicating drinks, and the angel of death guiding the ceremony. Adam of Bremen's account details sacrifices at Uppsala, where human and animal bodies were hung in a sacred grove. His description emphasizes the ritual's scale and periodic nature. Thietmar of Oseberg describes sacrifices at leisure, highlighting the regularity and quantity of offerings, including humans and animals, to appease the gods. While historical accounts suggest large-scale human sacrifices, archaeological evidence indicates they were rare. Some scholars argue they became less common as the Viking Age progressed. Debate exists on voluntary versus involuntary sacrifices. Accounts like Ibn Fadlan's suggest voluntary participation, but many victims were likely slaves or prisoners. There's ongoing discussion on whether some evidence represents religious sacrifice or ritualized execution, blurring lines between criminal punishment and sacrificial rites. Sacrificial practices likely varied regionally, with some areas embracing customs that were rare or absent elsewhere, reflecting diverse cultural landscapes. Human sacrifice likely declined over time due to changing social structures or Christian influence. Scholars debate the evolution of these practices during the Viking Age. Sacrificial rituals could foster community cohesion, binding participants through shared, intense experiences, reinforcing social ties and collective identity. Leaders conducting sacrifices wielded significant power, with the ability to perform such rituals reinforcing their authority within the community. In crises, human sacrifice might have offered a sense of control, providing action against uncontrollable events like famine or war, reflecting deep psychological needs. These sacrifices reveal complex attitudes towards death, showcasing how Vikings intertwined mortal life with divine realms, shaping their understanding of mortality and the afterlife. Christianization gradually replaced pagan practices, with Christian leaders actively working to suppress human sacrifice as they spread their faith throughout Scandinavia. As Viking society evolved, increased urbanization and centralized power structures may have reduced the contexts supporting human sacrifices, shifting societal norms. Interaction with Christian cultures and other societies likely pressured Vikings to abandon practices seen as barbaric by outsiders, aligning with broader cultural shifts. Economic changes, such as expanding trade networks, may have encouraged adopting customs in line with trading partners, influencing the decline of human sacrifice. Understanding Viking sacrificial practices requires analyzing archaeological evidence, historical accounts, and the cultural context, acknowledging the complexity of these rituals. Research continues to evolve our understanding of Viking sacrifices, providing insights into their worldview and social dynamics, despite their shocking nature by modern standards. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to explore this fascinating story with me. If you found this video interesting or thought-provoking, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might enjoy it too. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on any future videos where we dive even deeper into intriguing mysteries, untold histories, and the wonders of the unknown.